Valerie. Last time we were talking about a man is not a plan. I told you that we would go through the budget process and I would show you a very simple, easy way for you to get those basic fundamental view of where you are today financially. So it's really important that you understand where you are today so you can get to where you want to be. So we have to do that initial assessment and initial evaluation. And so I just wanted to show you that it can be done very quickly on a whiteboard, on a spreadsheet, or you can go get some fancy software, whatever you're most comfortable with. But initially, this is just kind of a back of the napkin almost will work for this particular exercise. So let's just jump right in there and talk about it. We're going to talk about the very first steps, and that is to review your income. And so it's really important that we just list down what our income is. Now, in terms of income, we're going to talk about our job. So that's going to be whatever wages you get, whether that be monthly averages, just take a few months if you have a variation, or if you're a salaried person and you get the same amount. We want to look at what are you getting from your job after taxes. The reason that's important is because this is how much money you actually have to spend that you bring home every single month. And so we want those after tax monies. Then we're going to add in any other types of income. And so what can that be? That can be passive income. Passive income, I guess Beast is going to play a little bit, so we're going to hear some squeaking. But passive income are things that you get on a regular basis that is not necessarily from the fruits of your effort every day, like going in 40 hours a week. So what do I mean by that? Rental income. If you have any properties that you own that you get rental income, that would be passive income. If you have some other type of business that runs for you, that's going to be your passive income. So we want to list out whatever money we have coming in that we can pretty much count on. And this is going to be a topic in and of itself. If you don't already have passive income, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what you can do and strategies you can take in order to get yourself to that level. But that'll be another video coming up. And also, we're going to list out any other types of income that you count on. Other income can be something like child support. It can be alimony. And for some of us, a little bit, it's not very much here lately, perhaps some interest income. Do you have royalties? Do you have anything else going on that you count on a regular basis in terms of your income? So once you have your income listed out, we're going to get a total number, and that will be whatever it is for you. So maybe you have $5,000 a month. I don't know. Whatever your number is, write down your total. Because what we're about to do is what's called a zero balanced budget. A zero balanced budget means that every single penny that we have coming in the door will be spent. So for us women that we like to spend, we are going to spend it all, but it's not going to be the way you think. And here is why. So the other side of our spreadsheet, napkin, whatever it is you're using, we're going to go through our expenses. Please forgive my handwriting. I should have been a doctor. I have like that whole prescription handwriting thing going. So under our expenses, we're going to categorize these. Now, we're not going to categorize them by the amount or the percentage of our income. What we're going to do is we're going to categorize these based off of importance. And so I want to really stress right now how important it is to pay yourself first. What do I mean by that? The very top of our budget, we're going to list out the important things. Important things are me. And that's going to make up 20% of our budget. So what do I mean by me? Well, what I mean by that is savings. That includes your 401k. And we're going to have a whole nother topic on that as well. This is going to be investments. Investments will bleed into me, just me at a later time. This is also going to include debt reduction. What do I mean by that? Well, do we have credit cards? Do we have any debt? Because we're going to have a whole other segment on debt reduction and what the theories are that we can utilize in order to get that down to zero. If you have investments or savings and you're only earning 1%, but yet you have debt and you're paying 18%, it makes sense for you to pay me by getting rid of this debt reduction, so then we can concentrate on these items. And we're going to go into these particular strategies in a later video. For purposes of today, we're just going to go top level, easy budget, okay? Also under this category, I do want to add one more thing, and that is charities and donations. So for some of us, that is just an absolute must for me. We give to our charities, whether that be your local, I don't know, charity contribution. Could be your church, it could be some sort of an initiative or a movement that you really believe in. So that's going to be lumped into the important section of me, which is going to make up 20% of your budget. So hopefully you saw that. I'm going to go ahead and erase it because I don't have a really big, huge board. And we're going to move along to the next category, which happens to be the bulk of your budget. So the bulk of your budget is going to be what we're going to call, wow, this marker's not working very well, your essentials. And this is going to make up 50% of your budget, okay? So what are your essentials? Well, I kind of sort of like having a roof over my head, especially when it's, raining outside. So this is going to be your house, which can be a mortgage or rent. It's going to be your utilities. It's going to be groceries, because, we do have a tendency to get hungry. It's going to be insurance. And it's going to be transportation. So transportation is going to be your car insurance, and things that go, your fuel expenses, utilities, of course, water, electricity, gas. Insurance is going to include health insurance, life insurance, anything you have as far as insurance on your home, and of course the house is, what the house is. So these are your essentials. These are very basic, fundamental things. I just have to have it. Now, there is a little bit of gray area here, and the reason being is some people put into their utilities their cable and internet. We will go into those different things, because in a normal circumstance, is that considered an essential? Probably could call it an essential at this point. But if you get into a situation where we're having to dump into that savings, then that might be something that all of a sudden changes categories and is no longer an essential. And so we'll talk about those different strategies just depending on your situation. For today, we're going to talk about normal situation. You have a job, everything's cozy, and everything is fine. We will lump in cable and internet into those things. And which, by the way, lots to talk about in this section as well on some strategies to save money. We will definitely be doing some videos on that as well, because it's super fun for me. And I'm sure you would want to hear about it too. So, and if you don't, let me know if you have a better budget strategy, because I'm always open for suggestions. So the last category is what I just like to call our fun. And our fun category is actually going to be quite a bit. It's going to be 30% of our budget. So what do we call fun? I think for most of us, we got a huge savings in our budget these last few months, because in this category, we put dining. And with restaurants being closed as they had been, we didn't really spend a whole lot of money here, unless you did the Uber Eats. So anyways, a whole nother topic. So dining. Also, ladies, under fun category is grooming. What do I mean by grooming? Okay, so we like to think that we absolutely have to have our nails done, or it's totally essential for us to have our hair done. But I would argue that's going to go into your fun category. That's going to be a part of your 30%. It's not an essential. It is fun. Other items in this category are going to be your hobbies. Do you like to play golf? Do you like to go bowling? What do you like to do that just as a hobby for fun? And the other item here, I also get a lot of eyebrows from my group, is clothing. Yes, clothing is considered fun. Reason being is I'm pretty sure you have something in your closet you can wear, and when you go out to the mall and you see something super cute, or if you're like me, oh my gosh, I just have to have those shoes, that's not really an essential. That's more under the fun category. So now those are your categories, and we are going to group all of your expenses under one of these three sections. Once you've done that, we can do really simple math, which is going to be taking that total number, which we gave an example of $5,000. So take whatever that expense is and just divide it by your total income. And I think in our example, we used 5K. This is gonna give you a percentage, and it should fall under those numbers that we just talked about. 50% for essentials, 30% for fun, and 20% for the important stuff. That's the basics. If you do not fall within those percentages, we need to start looking and doing a deeper dive into each one of the categories and doing some shifting to figure out how we can get it there. That's going to be your basics. This is what's going to be your launch pad for the rest of your budget and for getting yourself to that financial health that we all desire. So I hope this is helpful. Let me know if you have questions, but I'm super excited about the next few segments, because what we're going to do is talk about what do we do when we don't go into those percentages, or what do we do when I have too much in the important stuff. Maybe I have too much in savings. What can I do with it? So these are going to be all of the things that we are going to be discussing in the videos, and I'm super, super, super excited. But you got to start with the basics, ladies. So write down your basic budget, know where your numbers are. If you don't know any of this information, I encourage you to go out and gather the data, figure it out, write it down, have it at the top of your mind. That is ultimately the very first step. I promise you, you'll go through this exercise and it shouldn't take you too long. But the next time you go shopping, you're gonna kind of think about those percentages. So this is the very, very basic fundamentals of getting us towards that healthy financial well-being. And so I'm super excited, ladies, and we have more videos to come. Hopefully you found some value in this, and if you did, please feel free to share it and give me some feedback. Talk to you soon, ladies. Ciao.